Alrighty, I had cut some Ziploc bag bottoms off to have a shorter bag to wrap some things, and I had this as trash. Well, I pulled this out of my trash. It's just a Ziploc bag top, but of course it's open at the bottom, and I wanted to see if I could use it in some way. So I got it out of the trash, and let's see what I did. So I made a pretty bag. Let me just show you real quick how I do this. This is just a strip. I use feedsack, but of course you can use any fabric. And this is basically just sewed to the bottom of the bag. So the bottom of your bag now will be sealed, and that will be the bottom. I've been asked, could you make this part of the bag? And you could, but you would have to stitch one side of the bag and then fussy with, I'm not quite sure how you would do this. I just wanted some simple, pretty little bags. And then this is just a piece of muslin, and I have used a stamp on here. You could take that muslin and you could write someone's name with a micron pen. You could stamp anything you like. You could use a typewriter, you could use a printer. So you could personalize that. And then I just put my label on the back just because. So I thought I would use these. Maybe you could use them as gifts. Put, I don't know, M&Ms, candy. You could personalize them for kids at Halloween. Put some cute little Halloween fabric. Take these to retreats. Put some scraps in there. I don't know, all kinds of little things. So let me show you real quick how I make that. So I've got this partial Ziploc right here, and I'm gonna just take some double stick tape and put it along the bottom edge. I guess that would be the bottom because the Ziploc would be the top. So I'm just gonna put a piece of double stick tape, and then I have already put a pinked edge at the top. I just wanted a pretty pinked edge. And then just gonna lay that down as straight as I can to cover that tape. All right, at this point, you could just lay this other piece on and it will stay, just because this has, this is touching each other. So I don't tape this down, but you certainly could if you really want it to just stay put. Personally, I'm just gonna lay it down there and then I'm gonna stitch. Remove that. So I'm just gonna stitch right along that edge. And you're just gonna line up to the back. I'm gonna just stitch off right there. Okay, now I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna trim, get those tails. So I'm gonna put a cutting mat here. So now I just wanna edge the sides. So I've got a pinking rotary cutter, which I love. A lot of people say they think it's really hard to use this, but you have to really hold it up. You can't hold it like you would a normal rotary cutter. You really have to hold it up or it will really booger up your ruler. So I'm just gonna go right alongside that ruler and not cut into my bag. Okay, so you're gonna stop there. Then I'm gonna go to the other side. So see, I'm pressing straight down on that. Okay, so I've got two pretty little edges. I'm gonna go like this. And do my bottom edge. Line that up. You definitely need to push down on that. If you don't, you'll have to Just come back and cut just a little bit, line it up. Okay. So there's the bottom edge. Let me move all of this. And I'm just going to stitch around the perimeter. There you go. So that's not a usable space. It's just kind of a pretty little space. If you want to add, you can add anything to personalize that. You could put a nameplate there. Like I said on mine, it's just a piece of muslin that has been cut from my leftover linens. Then I fray it. I've stamped it with a stamp, but you could write on it if you want to personalize that. But that's pretty cute. Cute way to dress up a Ziploc bag. Not that we need to do that, but you know, we are who we are and we like things pretty. So what a cute little idea. And there you're sealed at the bottom. What a cute little idea for guild gifts, something really quick. I'm afraid I'm gonna sit here and make a lot of these. Here's another one I made this morning. So you can keep them plain or personalize them, put buttons, put, you know, embroider. There's just so many ideas. So I hope that helped you see how to do that. Thanks, have fun everybody.